guys, how's it going? Today's project is gonna be a fun one. I'm really excited about it. You can probably file this one away under like maybe impractical or over the top. Definitely fun, hopefully inspirational. But what we need to do first is move some concrete into the place where it's gonna go. So I'm gonna need to get some carts and I'm gonna need Aaron's help for this one. Well, we got a nice sunny afternoon for this project, so pardon my squinting, but aren't these urns gorgeous up here? These are the Savannah urns from Unique Stone that we unboxed earlier this spring when we got our big concrete load in, and I was so excited to get them placed. In fact, I wasn't even planning on planting these up for spring. I was just planning on summertime plants for these. So this is kind of like a little extra bonus project for me. So I'm really excited. It's like mid-60s right now. It's a total gift. It's just a beautiful day out here. So I actually ordered these along with some pillars that I meant to put underneath this whole, because this is two pieces. There's the top and then the base. But the pillars I chose, I didn't line up the measurements properly and they were way too small. So I'm going to use those pillars somewhere else, and it was actually a fortunate mistake because I think had these been any taller for this area, they would have looked out of proportion. I think having the weight drawn down, like your eye drawn down, having them shorter than the fence makes it look very wide and welcoming to me, in my personal opinion, so I'm really happy with how it turned out. We are going to run drip to these today. I'm not going to, of course we don't have our water on yet, so it won't be live, but at least we'll have everything kind of in place for once we turn the water on. We did have containers on this concrete right here last year. There were kind of some tallish black containers. We did put them up on risers because when you put containers on concrete or any hard surface and then try to run a drip tube underneath them, it can pinch that drip tubing. We don't have to worry about it when we place them on gravel because you can see all that extra space down there, and you can just scoot gravel out of the way a little bit, just enough to get your tube up underneath the container, and it won't pinch or crimp or restrict water flow in any way. So we'll get the drip set up. I'm gonna get them full of soil. Then we've got all of these gorgeous heucheras. Look at this. I mean, this is just absolutely beautiful. So I ordered these heucheras because I do have a plan for them out in the landscape. And that's why I said you can file this project maybe under like impractical or whatever, because I know that most people aren't going to go out and just buy a big bunch of heucheras to put in spring pots and then go to the trouble of planting them out later. But I love to do that because I get two uses out of them. I get to enjoy them out here, and then I get to use them where I had originally planned on using them. So I'm just thinking it's going to look like a patchwork of glorious heuchera. That's the goal. I did bring up this one extra plant. I've got Ruby Glow Euphorbia that's actually in a terracotta pot, and I've got two of them. They're quite large. This is just one, and I thought I might use that as a centerpiece. I may or may not. So I'm gonna maybe test that out. But anyway, we're gonna run the drip, get them planted, and then I'll show you what they look like. You guys, they turned out so beautiful and unique. And I wanted to start from this angle because this is the way we drive up and this is the angle we see them at the most. And I think it's really pretty because you can see all the different layers of color. And I've never planted heucheras like this before, like just using a whole bunch of different colors. And I thought at first that I may not like it. Like, I brought the Ruby Glow Euphorbia up here because I thought that I was going to need to have a centerpiece. And Aaron, you know, he errs on kind of the no centerpiece side of things. So I went with it, and I'm really glad because I think it turned out just so pretty. Now, I used almost all heucheras. I have one heucherella, but let me go through the names of these really quick. This is Apple Twist right here, and I actually wintered this one over in the greenhouse, and it did really well. I had to groom just a few leaves off of it, but beautiful fall color on this one as well. This one is called Peachberry Ice. Isn't that the most glorious orange color? I thought it'd be fun to put this one kind of as the front because I thought that the contrast between these two would be really nice. This one is called Wild Rose. This one gets enormous leaves on them. Really pretty rosy pink color. Undersides of the leaves are beautiful. And you can just see how full this plant is. Then we've got the Black Pearl, which again, contrast between these two is just perfect. And this one's got really beautiful pinky undersides as well. And then on this side, we have one called Silver Gumdrop. And it really does have a silver look to it. It's got that really pretty kind of purpley pink, and the silver overlay kind of makes it look almost shiny, like almost faux, because it looks so perfect. I mean, a lot of these do. And it's just amazing to me that you can get a container this full of color without any flowers at all. This one is a little bit different because I didn't have two of the Peachberry Ice, so I used a heucherella in its place. This one's called Hopscotch, and it's got a lot of the same kind of orange vibe to it, so I thought it would work. Now, all of these heucheras are labeled for both sun and shade. Okay guys, future Laura here. I need to butt in for just a second. We planted these containers several days ago and they're still looking amazing, but I wanted to address the light requirements because I told you guys that these could all take sun or shade, and that's what all the tags said. But I kind of started to think, you know, this Apple Twist, we did a video about it last year and I kind of remember it being a part shade to shade lover. So I contacted the grower just to verify, and there was a discrepancy on the tag. This one does prefer more shade. In fact, I learned something that's kind of a good rule of thumb to take forward. So the darker the leaf is on the heuchera, the more sun it can tolerate. So like in this arrangement here, the Black Pearl's got this super dark leaf. This one can handle more sun than the rest of them. And then we've got these kind of medium tones right here. These are kind of middle of the road for sun exposure. And then your lighter colored heucheras want the most shade. So I thought that that's like really handy information as you're going forward and shopping for heucheras. I just didn't want you guys to go out thinking that you could get an Apple Twist and throw it out in full sun and have success with it, because I really do want you to have success. So lighter leaved heucheras need more shade. They'll be okay out here because it's springtime, the sun isn't as intense, and I do plan on dismantling these and planting them out before summer hits. So anyway, that's all. Let's get back to the video. You may have noticed when I was planting these, so I went in with my outer ring first and I kind of tipped the root ball. And you can kind of tell this is like the top of the plant right here. I tipped it so that you could see all of the beautiful leaves, and also so that they wouldn't get smashed together. I wanted, when I pull these out, I still want them to look really nice on all sides. So I kind of went in and fluffed all of their leaves out so that nothing would be damaged. And then this one, I sunk down into the center in its nursery container right there, which is kind of a different way of planting things, but all of these are well tucked in. There's soil around all their root balls. They're nice and tight in there. And then I just created a well in the center and then sunk this pot in. So it's probably, the pot itself is down in the soil a couple inches. And we will run an individual drip into this container, but it was the only way that I could get the height that I wanted for more of a dramatic mound. Because this, unlike succulents you can actually plant up in a mound on the soil and you can still water that way, but these are a little different because, and I don't want soil, you know, to be coming like pouring out of these containers when we water. So this seemed like the best solution, and these are very temporary. I mean, you could probably do something like this and get away with it for a season if it gets adequate moisture, like as much as it needs. But you know, if you were trying to winter these things over, it would be a situation where you'd have to take this one out and either plant it or take it somewhere it's more protected, because it just doesn't have as much protection around its root ball. But anyway, I'm just super thrilled with this arrangement and super thrilled with the day. Like, the sun went away just long enough for us to get some really good, I hope, some good pictures of these. And I think we're just going to really enjoy these over the next couple of months. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.